The Inside Edge Network is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and athletes to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We're talking NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Hockey League, the NCAA. I'm a wrestling guy as well. We got WWE apparel available too. It allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. It's right there in the corner of your screen. Get your official gear. Level up with us at fanatics.com. Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from allyrosefragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from allyrosefragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good smelling home, allyrosefragrances.com will make it happen. Again, allyrosefragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, Inside Edge 20 is the promo code.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Man, shout out to Daniel Sheeman. As soon as we came on the air, literally my camera disconnected, and the Guardians, right when we came on the air, they are now up 4-0 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Welcome to the show. We'll talk, time permitting, Guardians, Dodgers. Later in the show, we also got the Cavs and the Utah Jazz. That went final. We'll talk about them later on. Evan Mobley had a big night. So between our show and Inside Edge Prime Time, there's going to be a ton of West Coast sports, Cleveland sports, that we're going to be covering. Both of those teams on the West Coast. In fact, tomorrow, they're both going to be in Los Angeles. We're going to have the Cavaliers and facing LeBron and Luka tomorrow. And then Ohtani will be starting for the Dodgers. He will face Tanner Bybee, according to Paul Hoynes. Tanner Bybee will be ready to go tomorrow. So we got a lot to cover from, the teams that are actually doing well with Cleveland sports. And again, as we just literally came on the air, the Guardians put up 3 runs in the 7th inning and are now up against the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers 4-0. So here we go. There should be some excitement on that front. And I would be ecstatic to talk about both of those teams. And we have plenty of time to talk about both of those teams. But we lead here today with the other team, the team that they try hard. We think they mean well, but they're led by idiots. They're led. In fact, it's actually kind of embarrassing. Nice catch. It's kind of Dodgers almost scored. Sorry for the live play-by-play. I'm not supposed to do that. But so the NFL owners, let's just get right into it. We don't have audio or video. Nobody took video. I guess when the owners meet and it's, a few beat reporters, and this is not on the beat reporters. This is NFL rules and mandate, I guess, for the owners' meetings, not to have cameras in there essentially to roll on live video. Because if live video was allowed to be rolled on, this might be the worst clip in Jimmy Haslam's entire tenure as the owner of the Cleveland Browns. And believe me, we have a lot of clips to choose from, going all the way back to 2012. But remember last year, at this particular meeting, he mentioned that Deshaun Watson was a swing and a miss. And I really wish, and I said this, I've been in the mindset, even though I hate this, I hate this, but I had a sickening feeling that Deshaun Watson was going to start week 1. And we are well on track to that happening. In fact, the probability of that happening, I truly believe, is at 85%. To me, that's the probability, 85%, that Deshaun Watson starts in week 1. So let me read here the quote here from Jimmy Haslam. Like he essentially said a few things here. He said, like most things, he's talking about what he said last year. And again, we got to read this here. He said, like most things we say, we probably could have articulated a little bit better, talking about the description of the 2022 trade for Watson. But listen, it's not for lack of effort, okay? I mean, I don't really think anybody in our organization would question Watson's effort, his toughness, everything he's put into the job. The reality is that he's had major injuries, his shoulder and torn the Achilles tendon twice. So you had that with the injuries, along with the 11-game suspension, all of that in place. But the big question, the big thing that he mentioned was that maybe this could be a home run. Maybe once again, if Deshaun Watson can go out there and do the job, that this could be a home run. And let me tell you, this has major potential if this goes through. And here it is right here. I was looking for the A quote. This is the quote right here, in case you missed it. You try to compare things to Sam Darnold. There are a lot of quarterbacks who it seemed to be kind of a theme in the NFL, either started or did not start well, and then they take their team to a Super Bowl championship, right? And what a great story that is for Sam Darnold. Deshaun started great, and a year before we signed him, he was rated the second best quarterback in the NFL. And then the suspension and the injuries and all that piled up. Can he come back from that? He certainly had the ability at one point in time, and we are optimistic, cautiously optimistic, but we'll see. I've this quote has been out now for about 5 or 6 hours. And for 5 or 6 hours, I have been trying to find the right words to talk about the exact words I was going to say at this very moment. This team can move for all I care. They can move. And I wonder what Shedeur Sanders and Team Shedeur Sanders, the Coach Prime and their family, I wonder what they're thinking right now. I have a good idea. We'll talk more about that in a few seconds. If you're a fan of the Cleveland Browns, and I normally don't do this. In fact, I hate to do this because you root for a winner. Whether your team, they could be incompetent, they could be this, they could be that, they could have flaws. I mean, the Guardians have their flaws. We talk about, they don't spend enough, or Cavaliers, they don't get, they're not doing certain things, but at least they try. At least they go out there and they give it an honest try. And when things don't work for any professional team, you pivot, you move on. This is the first time I'm legitimately coming on these airwaves and asking, why are you a Browns fan? Why? Why am I a Browns fan? I can't even question you guys. I have to question myself. Why am I a Cleveland Browns fan? I'm not joking when I say this, and I mean this sincerely. I can't yell about it or anything. If Deshaun Watson is your week 1 starter, I'll keep up with the stats for the pure obligation of working this network, but me watching, no. This effing idiot is coming out here and saying, man, he could turn this around, as if this was, what are we talking, what? We're waiting for 2019? What were you doing in 2019? That Deshaun Watson has been dog blank ever since the beginning of the pandemic. And the rest of us, we see reality. But this fool doesn't. Jimmy Haslam, he's your owner. It's the first time I'm truly recommending the NFL to remove an owner. That's the only way you get out of this. To flat out remove an owner. Because how can anybody else do their job? And I guarantee you, I don't want to discredit Todd Monken's head coaching resume. I think Todd Monken could be a very successful, smart mind. I really do. I truly believe Todd Monken got this job for the Cleveland Browns because he was the only coaching candidate who was able to answer the question, what can you do with Deshaun Watson and your offense? None of the younger guys had a reasonable answer because they don't need a reasonable answer. The reasonable answer to what you do with Deshaun Watson is cut him. Send him away. Pay him to sit at home. That's what you do with Deshaun. You paid him to sit at home. But these young kids, the young coaches, they can't say that. They can't say that. So they withdrew their names from the interviewing process. Remember Grant Udinski? Remember he was the guy who was going to lead this team. In fact, I think we went, 3, 4, or 5 days saying that's the guy from Jacksonville. He turned things around there. He's going to turn things around here. I guarantee you in the interviewing process, Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam, what are you going to do with Deshaun Watson? And then he went back home. He called Jacksonville and said, I'm going back home. I guarantee you that's what happened. I will bet money that that's exactly what happened. So here we are. And this is why what Eli said today on Prime Time, and this is not a shot at Eli. Eli brought up the most important question of the entire night on Prime Time. This is what he said on Prime Time really, really kind of set a bomb in my head. Matter of fact, let me get Eli on the screen here because you can add some context to what you said. Eli, you remember what I texted you guys during the show? You remember what I asked you after you said it?
You said that I pretty much got you. I can tell I got you pissed off because you started having to think about Deshaun Watson before midnight run, and that's never a great thing. I can't remember the exact question, Doubly. Please re-jog my memory.
So, you essentially said, is this Jimmy Haslam and Todd Monken, essentially, is Jimmy Haslam forcing the hand of Todd Monken and the coaching staff in putting Deshaun Watson on the field.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I try to think a lot of times that Jimmy Haslam's not going to meddle with this football team anymore. That the Deshaun Watson trade, that was the final straw. You know what? I'm going to let these guys do it. But you know what? I'm so thrown off that I thought you were asking me a question after my question. But yes, the question I posed was, is this Monken or is this Jimmy Haslam? And I think ultimately, I don't know. I feel like it's Jimmy Haslam. I think that's where we maybe differ a little bit. I don't know if this is Todd Monken because
No. I agree with you. I think it's Jimmy Haslam.
Okay.
I think Todd was the only one to have a plan for Deshaun Watson.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. And I don't know. Chad and I talked about it. It's like, if you're Todd Monken, is this really the hill you're going to die on? Like, metaphorically speaking, the Deshaun Watson hill? Like, there were, what's the worst thing that happens if Todd Monken takes another OC job somewhere, or does he not get considered? I mean, if anything, you don't mess your resume up by taking this job, and now it seems like more and more you're going to be tied to Deshaun Watson. That's what my fear is, AA, is we're not even going to get to find out what Shedeur Sanders truly is in Cleveland. We'll never find out. Just because Deshaun Watson is getting I want to be very clear that this is from Daniel Oyefuse. I always botch his last name, Oyefuse, but he covers the Browns, and the quotes were, great chance and fresh start with Todd Monken for Deshaun Watson. And I just don't understand that. I said it at the end of prime time, and then I'm going to hand the floor back to you. This is your show. Why does Jimmy Haslam keep going back to his exes? And it's not only with the quarterback, it's with the front office too. He loves his exes.
So let me address a couple things, because those are great points. The Todd Monken part first. Todd Monken, he's 60? And Todd Monken has been around the coaching circles for 20, 30 years in the NFL level. This is his only shot as a head football coach in the National Football League. He's kind of desperate. So this is a situation where, if Deshaun Watson's the best guy, we got to make Deshaun Watson work. He's going to fall in line. I'm not, because the fact is, Todd Monken's not going to get another opportunity as a head football coach. Those younger cats that we talked about, they're going to get other opportunities. They're going to get plenty of opportunities in the National Football League. In fact, those same guys, they'll be right back at the front of the line next offseason. So those young guys don't want to be tied into Deshaun Watson. They have too much to lose. But for Todd Monken, he has nothing to lose. Like in terms of acquiring another job, there is no other job. Now to the Jimmy Haslam point, this man made, it's not a hot take, it's the take. It's the worst trade in NFL history. It's not even close. It's the worst trade in NFL history. He, as we mentioned time and time again, he bought a Tesla, an old Tesla with a ton of Carfax issues, just because it was cool to have a Tesla. And he is still paying on the Tesla, Deshaun Watson. He wants to trot out Deshaun Watson and give it that last ride and make it work. And the worst part about it, if he wins 2 games, he's going to be extended. So this whole, we're getting out of the Deshaun Watson mess in 2027, unless the NFL takes ownership away from the Haslams, he will be here. Your grandchildren will graduate before he's out of here. And then your grandchildren will be paying for his contract. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. But everybody has to fall in line. It's 32 NFL jobs. So if Andrew Berry doesn't fall in line, where will he become a general manager at anywhere else in the NFL? If Todd Monken doesn't fall in line, who else is going to hire him to be a head coach in the NFL if he doesn't fall in line? You get what I'm saying? You understand now what's at stake? We are screwed. End of story. We're screwed. I thought, now this is where I'm going to defer here, because I thought Deshaun Watson is going to start week 1, fall on his face in week 1. Week 2, he's going to fall on his face. And then you put in Shedeur Sanders week 3, and Shedeur Sanders will finish out your season because he's earned the right to have a look at for him of 16, 17 games. Now I'm sitting here saying, I don't think Shedeur is even going to be here. Why would he? Deion Sanders has done everything he can to do things the right way, which is essentially stay out of the way, right? Shedeur Sanders interviewed badly. He interviewed badly during the draft process. He fell to the 5th round. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, whoever, they wasn't even going to pick him up. But fine, he's there. We'll take him. And then you had the whole mess with the QB battle last year. Shedeur Sanders looked respectable as an NFL starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, who did not have the talent around him, and they were still moving the offense. But whether we're locked in with Deshaun Watson, whether this is a smokescreen for Ty Simpson, which I lean more in that direction at this point, why would Coach Prime and the Sanders camp say, Shedeur, stick around for this? Stick around for this. We're talking about Myles Garrett getting traded. Shedeur's going too. Myles ain't the only one leaving. Shedeur's out. But you're going to make sure that Deshaun Watson, who looks great at intramurals, and this is the problem. Jimmy Haslam just looks at practice. Ballers look great on the street in intramurals. Most people can look great during intramurals. Deshaun Watson would probably, if he was involved with flag football, Deshaun Watson would look great. When it comes to tackle football, he is ass. End of story. And the decision-making is just terrible. But you're stuck. You are stuck with this. Because somehow, some way, Jimmy Haslam is the only owner, the only person in the United States of America who believes that Deshaun Watson can flip this around and become a Super Bowl champion. Chef's kiss. We'll be back.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Your review until 1. Welcome back to the show. Remember, BA Sweeties is the place you need to be. This week, we are heading into Easter weekend, and this is the time right now. Look, I've been to BA. Sorry, we just got Otani out. Okay, I had to check that real quick. By the way, Guardians still up 4-0, heading into the ninth inning. Guardians up 4-0 against the Dodgers. BA Sweeties. You want to enjoy the Guardians? You want to enjoy West Coast baseball, West Coast basketball, Inside Edge Primetime, Midnight Run, or all of our Inside Edge Network programming heading into Easter? Go to BA Sweeties, the largest candy store in North America. It is here in Cleveland, Ohio. And what's great about it, when you walk in, it smells like good candy goodness. Now, I got my advice. Do not wait till Friday or Saturday to go. Go tomorrow. Go when you're off. Find the time to head into BA Sweeties and get your treats, because weekends is packed. It's going to be packed on Friday. It's going to be packed on Saturday as everybody's loading in with candy and treats. Got different flavors of Humphrey's popcorn, Olympia popcorn, jelly beans. It's going to be locked in. Oh, got to get Peeps. Get the Peeps. I didn't know Peeps was as good as it was. Peeps is very underrated. It's good stuff. It is good stuff. Go to BA Sweeties, Interstate 480, the Ridge Road exit, make a left off Brook Park Road. And when you load in your cart, if it's $40 or more, if it's worth $40 or more, mention the word lollipop. It's an in-store promotion only. Mention the word lollipop, and you get $5 off your order. Again, that's $40 or more. You get $5 off if you mention the in-store promotion lollipop. That's BA Sweeties. Over 75 years of local business. They got great treats. They got great ice cream too. And I mention ice cream because we're now in the 60s and 70s as far as temps. So we're good. We're almost at my favorite time of the year, my favorite season. So go to BA Sweeties, and you're going to be set and ready to go. Interstate 480 in the Ridge Road exit. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Shedeur Sanders factor, because I didn't want to just drop that nugget in and just leave it out to dry. What is he thinking right now? And listen. And yes, that headline is correct. Just Shedeur and Deion Sanders. What are they thinking right now? Because for a lot of times we've been telling them essentially, you got to do things the right way. You got to do things the right way. You got to do things the right way. Which that really means stay quiet, stay quiet, stay quiet. Don't cause a scene. Don't cause a scene. Stay quiet. Stay out of the way. They have done that. Shedeur Sanders, when we used to be able to do live intros on the main event, I think his the first game he was put in relief, he said to the CBS reporter, "Hey, imagine if I had a full week of practice." All right, a little bit of an immature comment in terms of competition, but point to me where Shedeur Sanders, at least early on, has said anything controversial. Can't do it. Point to me where Deion Sanders has said anything controversial in public that has gotten in the way of Shedeur Sanders. Can't do that. Did the Cleveland Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers at the end of the season? I believe so. Shedeur Sanders was starting quarterback. In fact, did the Cleveland Browns win some critical games late in the season? Partly because of Shedeur Sanders? I believe so. So why? I understand play was inconsistent. I get it. There were ups and downs. Why why is the organization disrespecting Shedeur Sanders the way that they are? I'll just go out and say it. This isn't if you were in a QB battle, and here's the thing that blows my mind. If you really think back to the timeline of everything dropping, Jimmy Haslam said what he had to say about Deshaun Watson. A couple hours before that, the Cleveland Browns social media team announced that Shedeur Sanders was going to wear number 2. Boy, you want to talk about smokescreen? There it is. I mean, there it is. It's there for the taking. I can't imagine how much more disrespect Shedeur Sanders is going to have to take. Now, I'm not sitting here saying Shedeur Sanders shouldn't fight back. And yes, he should. He has to go out of his way to earn the starting job in the preseason. And during camp. But when is that going to happen? If it's already, and I truly believe, this is just my opinion, this is no inside sources, this is my opinion. From the outside, the Browns are operating an inside job to ensure that Deshaun Watson is the week 1 starter. So what chance does Shedeur Sanders even have to even prove himself? Todd Monken, as we mentioned in the last segment, has one opportunity to be a head coach. He's going to fall in line. And everybody else is going to fall in line. And then here's the worst part about it. Here's the worst part. Let's say Eli and our other Inside Edge Network colleagues, Ryan Mosser and others, are right. And Myles Garrett is actually traded. Now what? Why even have... If you're going to stockpile draft picks, what are you doing with Shedeur? That's a clear indication you're not even in a win-now situation. So that's an indication of, A, we're going to find a way to make Deshaun Watson work, and if he doesn't work, Ty Simpson is ready to go. That is your smokescreen. There it is. Shedeur Sanders is not in any plans, any future plans for the Cleveland Browns. And just watch. I'm going to be honest. Give it 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks. I'm telling you right now, you will hear rumors, you will hear trade rumors about Shedeur Sanders. Give it 2 weeks. Not even that. You're going to hear smoke from the Sanders team. You will hear smoke, and rightfully so. And I think this go around, Shedeur Sanders wouldn't mind backing up an established quarterback on a winning team to kind of build up his stock. And for him to go, I don't know, I hate the fact that we're now using the Sam Darnold template, but that's what it is now. It's go to the Rams, go. Well, it'd be funny if he actually ended up back to Baltimore in reverse. Do something like that. It's the NFL. It's 17 games, so you're going to get looks. Make something happen, and then earn a starting job somewhere else. And then Shedeur Sanders will be in one of those other quarterbacks who was good enough to play in the NFL, but not good enough here. While we're tooling around trying to chase the 2019 Thanksgiving edition of Deshaun Watson. Talking about exes. I mean, for some people, that's like 6 exes ago. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know what? I'm going to go back to my high school prom date and see if that works. It's stupid. It's stupid. Eli and Chad mentioned something on Prime Time that is like, it's a reality. And I kind of said this as well here on the Inside Edge Network. And it's true. The owners do not respect the Cleveland Browns. They don't. They flat out do not respect the Cleveland Browns. I don't think the Cleveland Browns trade proposal was a bad one. I don't think it was a bad one. The proposal was, right now you could trade only 3 years. The proposal is to get to 5. I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's the NBA, I think you go 5 years. In other leagues, you go 5 years. Hell, our fantasy football league, you could trade 5 years. So, you could do 5 years. It's not a bad rule. It's actually a great proposal. Because it's from the Cleveland Browns, it got shot down. In fact, the Cleveland Browns withdrew an hour after Sean McVay. We have the clip here. Eli, let me know when it's ready. Sean McVay was on with Kay Adams. I think it's courtesy of FanDuel TV. Sean McVay, I believe, replaced Mike Tomlin in the competition committee at the owners' meetings. And Sean McVay had this to say about whether or not they would go ahead with the Cleveland Browns proposal. Take a look.
One of the things that's really big is this Browns proposal to be able to trade draft picks 5 years instead of just 1 year.
Sure.
With the mentality that you and how excited are you guys about that? I'm sure
well, it's big. There's 0% chance that'll get through. So
really?
You'll talk. Yeah, nobody. I respect the courage for Andrew to be able to have a very sound reasoning of what's behind it. Hey, if there's one thing you can bet Vegas odds on, there's no chance that thing's getting through.
But you'd back that, no? You're not going to pound the table for that?
Nope,
Really? Why not? You don't really?
Yeah, competition committee was 11-0. I'm on the competition committee.
They think, and they're right, they think the Browns are a joke. They think they're a joke. They're just laughing it off. No, we're not passing that. We're not passing it. And then the Browns withdrew. Oh, man. I'm just looking at the side here. Dodgers scored, but it's still 4-1. No out, though. 9th inning. But, come on. It is the NFL owners looking at the Cleveland Browns and saying, you screwed up the quarterback market because of Deshaun Watson. I know we were talking about that rule, the Browns wanting that rule in place because of Myles Garrett. And I think that part is true. But the reason why the Browns are being penalized is not because of the Myles Garrett part of it. It's because of Deshaun Watson. The quarterback market became out of control because you gave this jackass the worst quarterback or the worst contract in NFL history. You reset the entire market over this guy, over this intramural player. You reset the market. But funny story, by the way. I never met the guy. Deshaun Watson. He has me blocked on Twitter, by the way. I just want to point that out. He has me blocked on Twitter. I'm not even joking. I can't. If we have to pull up something that Deshaun Watson said, Eli has to pull it up. I can't pull it up. He has me blocked. Not even joking. Swear to God. I'm blocked. And I never said a word to this guy. I'm not one of the fans that's like, oh, you suck. And, I don't tweet the players. I mean, every player is better than me in the sports and everything like that. But, yeah, he blocked me. Him and his team. So, again, chef's kiss. But, yeah. I mean, you're looking at the NFL saying we think you're incompetent. We don't trust that you're going to make the right decisions if you go through with this proposal. And you're an idiot. You guys are screw-ups. And that's exactly what's happening. That's why that rule didn't get passed. It didn't get passed because it was a bad proposal. I guarantee you another team is going to propose the exact same thing next year or 2 years from now, and it will get passed. It will get passed. Sean McVay laughed it off. He laughed it off. It would be very funny if the Los Angeles Rams submitted that exact same proposal next year. It'll get passed. It will get passed. So it's just, this is all unfortunate. Todd Monken and the AFC coaches, they're going to talk tomorrow. We'll have highlights of that on our shows tomorrow here at the Inside Edge Network. Again, you can follow all of our programs at Inside Edge Net on the socials, and also on the QR code on the corner of the screen. Go to our website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. You get to see all of our show profiles, personality profiles, and you see all of our list of sponsors that help support our partners, that help support all of us and support the entire operation here at the Inside Edge Network. And that includes sportsmemorabilia.com. And I got to tell you, they have everything. They have everything. This website, this is amazing. I mean, if you want, now I don't know if they're going to have a classic Deshaun Watson jersey, but maybe you might be looking for one. They do. Sports Memorabilia has that cover for you, but a lot of classic stuff, signed stuff. I'm a basketball nerd, so just thinking about, when Kobe Bryant scored the 81 points, I know that was whatever. It's still Kobe and 81 points. When he scored 81 points, you think about, all the different football merchandise, the basketball. Even if we joked, if you're a wrestling fan, we had an image of Tori Wilson signing her Playboy cover page. So all of that is there. Sportsmemorabilia.com. That's where you want to go to get all of your signed merch and all that stuff. It's a lot of great stuff. Signed baseballs, all the cool stuff you have framed in your home. It's all there, locked in, ready to go. Sportsmemorabilia.com. All right, when we come back, we got to do some housekeeping here. Hopefully after the break, we'll know if the Guardians held on to win against the Los Angeles Dodgers. But also, I do have a proposal. And also Cavs Utah, they play tonight as well. But I do have a proposal to solve the NBA's tanking issues. If you remember how the pandemic season went a little bit, kind of think along those lines. We'll talk about that coming up on the other side. We got a lot to address here with you until 1. It's a Monday, or now Tuesday morning. I'm Anthony Alford. This is Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. Back after this.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at mossermomentsphotography.com.
We have a busy final segment for you. The Guardians game just went final. We'll talk Cavs and also my tanking proposal or solving issues that we'll talk about in a moment. So fast-paced, 15 minutes to close out the show. First, we'll tell you about W Energy, W.GG. You want here's the thing. I got my order of W coming up here because if you utilize coffee, which I have been doing, I'm going to be up till 3 or 4 in the morning. That can't happen. that cannot happen. I usually need to go to bed right after the show. But I'm going to be up. But my order of W Energy is on its way. And here's what's cool about it. It's consistent. It's flow right there. Those guys are vibing right there. They're both vibing. Jitterless energy blend. So you don't get that hard crash. It's not that sudden, like crazy burst of energy for a few minutes and then that hard crash. It is consistent flow at a high level. W Energy, no sugar. Over 15 different flavors to choose from. My personal recommendation, the blue ras flavor. That's my personal recommendation, but they're all good. And all you need when you get it, you're going to get those tubs that you see on the screen. All you need is a cup or a water bottle or anything like that, and you scoop it, put it in the water bottle, you mix it together, and you're golden. You're good to go. And you're ready. And you can use it for any facet, right? Wake up in the morning, you got to get things going for work. Headed to the gym, you need, again, that good flow. Hosting a talk show or a podcast, you got that going. If you're Eli Moon, you need to perform on stage. You need W Energy to make that go on, make that happen. So, you got to knock it all out. W Energy, again, use the code InsideEdge10 on the website, W.GG. Again, you go to the QR code to get there at the corner of the screen. InsideEdge10 is the promo code. InsideEdge10, you get 10% off of your order. Again, stack up and get 10% off of that cart order and handle W for you, your buddies, your loved ones, everybody. W Energy, we got that taken care of. Again, the Guardians, a winner 4-2. And after this game, there were 4 teams that entered in today undefeated. We have no undefeated baseball teams. They have all fallen as the Cleveland Guardians. And the crazy thing, again, Parker Mescott only giving up, 5 hits? He had 5 Ks today. And, Stephen Kwan made things happen. And it's just a ton of good stuff. And the crazy thing real quick about Dodger games, and we used to say this about Yankee games, but Dodger games, especially and Dre is interviewing Austin Hedges. He had a leadoff double. He had a double. Austin Hedges had a double. So amazing. And also I'm seeing here too, he has reached 10 years of Major League service time. So that's pretty cool. But yes, you see it there. The Dodgers, their first loss of the season. The Guardians, they have opened the season against the Seattle Mariners and now the Los Angeles Dodgers. At this moment, they have a winning record. That should make you happy. That should make you proud. Now, And again, we'll talk more. Time kind of permits us to get more and more in depth into the matchup, but this is great. And I was going to say, it feels like when you are playing in Los Angeles, it every pitch feels like a postseason environment. I hate everything that the Dodgers stand for, but they do have they have okay fans. they get loud. They get really loud. So there is added pressure to be locked in every pitch, take advantage. And I cannot stress enough how different ball games go when you're playing ahead of the sticks as opposed to playing from behind or any, I know that's kind of common sense, but the Guardians have struggled offensively consistently for years from that standpoint. So to see the offense come through in that facet and to hang in there, of course, you always got to see. Let me pull it up real quick, unless Eli, you get it first. What did Ohtani do today? I'm on the offensive side. Apparently not much because we didn't see hardly any highlights. Yeah, 1 for 4. Thank you, Eli. 1 for 4. Yeah, so we're good. But this is baseball. You're right back at it tomorrow, and it's a heavyweight battle tomorrow, and I can't wait to watch it. Also have our shows on as well. But Shohei Ohtani will be the starting pitcher for the Dodgers tomorrow, and Tanner Bybee, he's going to be ready to go. We're going to see again. We talk about that shoulder. Let's see how it looks, but it was day to day. Tanner Bybee is going to be good to go, and that's going to be a heavyweight fight tomorrow. Also, the Cavs are going to play tomorrow against LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. But tonight, they defeated the Utah Jazz. And it was a close one. It shouldn't have been close, but it was close. But 122-113 was the final. Cavaliers over the Utah Jazz. And Evan Mobley's like, y'all better chill. Y'all better put some respect on my name. Evan Mobley, 34 points, 15-21 from the field. And the one thing you can't say, in the paint, they handle business, the Cavaliers. So you do have that. I was just taking a peek at the box score real quick. Evan Mobley, 34 points, 17 rebounds for Mobley. So, again, pretty good stuff there. Donovan Mitchell, he had a measly 34 points. Donovan Mitchell coming through. And James Harden, he's doing what he does best. I mean, selfishly, I want more scoring from James Harden, like selfishly, but it's not like he ain't doing anything. He is being a facilitator. 14 assists tonight for James Harden. One quick thing, and then we'll mention the tanking here to close out the show. I thought Danny Cunningham had a great stat. I'm going to see real quick where we finished tonight from. Okay, our 3-point percentage, 19%, 3-point percentage. But Danny Cunningham mentioned something very interesting. Let me go to it real quick. Here it is. He said here, tweeted earlier today, I think one of the biggest concerns with the Cavs past tonight is that the shooting seems to just come and go a little bit too frequently. They've had 31 games. This is 32. This counts. 32 games where they have made less than 34% from three-point range. In those games, they're 12-19, the Cavaliers. And it's going to be tough to win in the postseason if you're the worst three-point shooting team in the NBA. So that is something to keep in mind. Can they consistently put down three-pointers? We talked about it. Like, it's crazy how in today's NBA you could be down 15, 20 points in the blink of an eye, go on a crazy run. I think it was what the Toronto Raptors went on a 31-0 run against Orlando. That was crazy. crazy. Out of the blue, go from a close game to an absolute beatdown. That's how quick things could turn around. So you need that shooting. You need that in place. Again, I mentioned before, the key is having Mobley and Jared Allen both healthy, ready to go in the playoffs. All right. Eli, you can come on the screen here as I kind of explain this. So if you remember, Eli, remember back with the pandemic season?
Yeah.
Around this time, season shuts down, and then, in July, all right, we're going to fire back, but we don't need to invite everybody back. You remember what they did?
Yeah, they only brought back the competitive teams, the teams that had a natural chance at making the playoffs, making the, a run for the NBA Finals, and just told the rest of the teams, enjoy your extended layoff, and we'll see you in the fall.
Yeah, and the Cavaliers were one of those teams that were not invited back. So
yeah.
The Cavs season ended on March 19th, whatever day the league shut down. My proposal would honestly be kind of similar to that, because it came to my attention, Eli, a couple days ago. I'm like, wait a minute. Every team, like all the spots, at least with the playoffs and the play-in, the seating's not locked in, but at least the spots are filled already. And the regular season doesn't end until, 2 weeks from, now 12 days, 13 days?
Yeah.
So like a team like Utah should not be playing right now. So my proposal is this. You can schedule an 82-game regular season. Fine. We're cutting things off at 72. After 72 games, if your team is not in contention to make the playoffs or the play-in, your season's over. That's it. Now, I'm not advocating to take away draft picks or anything like that, because there are some teams who are not actually tanking. They legitimately suck, and they need the draft picks. But if you're not trying to win, if you got multiple teams on 9-game, 10-game, 11-game losing streaks, getting blown out, you got the Wizards basically handing Bam Adebayo scoring records and stuff, you lose 5 home games to close out your season. So my proposal would be every team plays 72 games in the regular season. After 72 games, if you are not in play-in or playoff contention, your season ends. And then the following 10 games is still the regular season to get to your 82, but it's only with teams that are in playoff or play-in contention.
I love it. I usually you'd get an argument out of me or something, or maybe like a little bit of a debate. I love it. Competitive basketball. The other teams go home. What's it mean for the teams like that go home, or what's that do for the lottery?
That's something you could figure out with the lottery. But I would imagine the lottery would kind of be set already based on the records.
Okay, so yeah, you would just basically like get.
You can utilize like win percentage at that point. That would be what you would do.
I'm with it. No, I love it, Double A. I think this is probably one of your best ideas of the year so far. I think this is probably one of the best. Mark it down here in Midnight Run history. This is probably one of your best ideas since the show's been existed.
Well, you might take that opinion back when we do Pick Your Poison tomorrow night.
Oh, all right, buddy. Why don't you put a bow on this one then, and we'll find out, I guess.
Thank you all for joining us on Midnight Run. Tomorrow, again, another packed show. We're going to react to Guardians. Cavs Lakers. We got Guardians Dodgers again. Ohtani against Tanner Bybee. We'll see what else. Other stupidity the Browns mentioned. We should hear from Tom Munkin. We got that going on. And also, as Eli just mentioned, Pick Your Poison Tuesday. We're still getting reaction from last week's Pick Your Poison Tuesday. The red pillar, still on the TikTok. Go to our TikTok. It's still there. People are reacting to that. So we got another one for you coming up tomorrow here on Midnight Run. For Eli Moon, for our sponsors, for everybody, for all of you tuning in. Thank you for supporting us, the Inside Edge Network. Again, Midnight Run. We're here with you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights at midnight right here on the Inside Edge Network. All right. You guys have a great night. Jimmy has some sucks, and go to bed. Have a good night, everybody.